The first release of Elite Dangerous, you were limited to a Cobra, and that was fine. You could forge your own path, shoot Thargoids, do a bit of trading. It was a great game to have back in the day. BBC micro screens, and then later the 8-bit computers such as the Spectrum, the Commodore, all got in on the Elite action. It wasn't until 1993 and Frontier Elite 2 brought the Panther Clipper to the forefront in hauling. An evolution in 3D was that game. Now the Panther Clipper was a monster of cargo racks and shields, putting its place in galactic lore. Traders whispered of her modular bays, pirates dreamed of the speed, and now, in the latest version of Elite Dangerous, there seems to be a need more than ever for a ship that can move large quantities of product to A to B pretty quickly. I'm talking about system colonization, and I'm talking about the good old Panther Clipper. On April the 26th, Frontier released a cryptic teaser in the form of a picture on their social channels. And we thought, ooh, we could be in for something here. A very large ship was depicted in the picture, and some commanders standing around, with also a Scorpion SRV loitering in the background. And first off, everyone thought, ooh, could it be a Panther Clipper? Well, it might well be. It might not be. It could be a large mining mineral ship, a deep space miner. Or could it be what we're all wanting, something that's going to support us through system colonization, the new meta that Elite Dangerous seems to be enjoying in-game? Who knows? Now, the Panther Clipper stands as one of the most legendary vessels in the Elite franchise, first materialising in the Legacy title, calling it Legacy from 1993, we are getting old, Frontier Elite 2, and commonly known amongst fans as Elite 2. Celebrated for its colossal cargo capacity and imposing silhouette, the Panther Clipper has persisted in Commander lore, reappearing in concept form all over the community for Elite Dangerous, but up until now, we think, never fully realised in-game. In Frontier Elite 2, the direct sequel to the original Elite, the Panther Clipper emerged as the ultimate trader's behemoth. Dubbed as the largest independent trading ship, it held the reputation for single-handedly monopolising market supplies. Its debut in Elite 2 cemented its status as the crown jewel of late-game commerce. In Elite 2, its statistics and specifications were very impressive, and you can see why people today would like a Panther Clipper. It's got a mass gross of 2,500 tons. It's a big unit. Its empty mass, 400 tons, but its payload capacity, 2,100 tons. Now that would certainly help with system colonization, wouldn't it? It had a main thruster acceleration of 6G, a retro thruster acceleration of 3G, 4 gun mountings, 8 missile racks, and 12 crew complement compartments. It also had a fuel scoop. In addition to this, it wasn't what you particularly think of as a large jumper, as you would imagine. It is indeed a big unit, and the stats for hyperdrive ranges on the internet were a Class 5 of 4.22 light years, well that isn't going to get you very far, is it? A Class 6, 6.8 light years, and a Class 7, 8.28 light years. Now, we do have different technology in the game at the moment that might accentuate that. We'd be looking at something that would jump at least 30 light years when tricked up. At least, let's face it. However, the strengths and shortcomings of the Panther Clipper's immense payload made it the epitome of profitability, enabling unprecedented single-run hauls. However, pilots did pay the price for carrying power with sluggish acceleration. Poor agility was one of them, and also significant docking requirements necessitated large landing pads and careful route planning. Now, let's face it, is this going to get through an orifice of a starport? Either way, in Elite 2, back in 1994, it was the pinnacle of single-person trading. Go in, land, clear out an entire settlement of everything they had, even take the empty toilet rolls, and then move on your merry way. Even Frontier Developments teased the Panther Clipper LX in Elite Dangerous Horizons newsletters and data mined assets. Now, we don't talk about that here. It's against game policy, just so we're clear. But that's where people have been talking about it. Early blockout messages and promotional art suggested a modernised bulk trader, yet the ship remains absent from the game as of today in April 2025. Of course, what might happen at Frontier Unlocked on April the 30th, who knows? Now, enthusiasts all over the internet have reverse engineered possible stats for an Elite Dangerous iteration of the Panther Clipper, with a cargo capacity of 1,300 to 1,500 tons. Also, a decent array of hard points as well to stop those pirates from stealing all your swag. The core modules would be a Class 8 power plant and thrusters. Well, you'd need that to get the thing off the ground. Also a Class 7 FSD, Class 6 life support and sensors. All this comes from Reddit and the Frontier forums, so thank you, commanders, for making comments like that I was able to use for making this video. Now, were it to be implemented in the game, the Panther Clipper would serve as a late-tier freight hauler or multi-crew passenger liner. Think about that. Or could it even be, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, a planetary deep space miner, mining and ripping the raw materials off a planet's surface? Effective fits would leverage turreted defense, shield tanking, engineered shield to offset its low agility while balancing power module weight to maximise both cargo and perhaps combat resilience. But either way, after its debut in Frontier Elite 2, the Panther Clipper's grandiose legacy lives on through community lore and concept art. Whether it ever graces the skies of Elite Dangerous does indeed remain to be seen, but its legend as the ultimate trader's vessel is firmly secured in Elite Dangerous history. While so far the Panther Clipper has not entered live service in Elite Dangerous, its sheer size and theoretical cargo hold would make it an ideal candidate for system colonisation. Think about bulk hauling of construction materials. With an estimated cargo capacity of, what we stated from the community, of 1,300 to 1,500 tons, a Panther Clipper would dramatically reduce the number of runs required to deliver prefab habitats, power generators, CCM composites, all the rest of it, and cut down on potential trips by more than half, I would say, compared to the existing large haulers, the Cutter, the Type 9. However, because it's large, you're not going to be able to go and do anything with those outposts because they need a medium to small. However, big old planetary ports would be your manner, wouldn't it? Now, given its proposed sheer size, the Panther Clipper would need a way to shuttle materials from A to B, perhaps from a supply ship, perhaps from a station or an outpost. Would Frontier put in a shuttle? Should we get those NPCs working for their money? Because they don't do an awful lot and they make an absolute flipping fortune, don't they? Let's think about that. A little shuttle that would then ferry back and forth materials from A to B. It would certainly help, wouldn't it? And cut down on any potential grind in the game. We think about passenger and personnel movement. While primarily a freighter, you could retrofit this for passenger cabins, and life support could allow the Clipper to act as a bulk migrant ship, transporting hundreds of colonists or NPC workers, or refugees even, should the Thargoids come back or there be another threat to system stability. Who knows though? Only time will tell. The Panther Clipper has been around for a bit in game lore. It's been long overdue in Elite Dangerous. Will they call it the Panther Clipper? Will they call it the Panther LX? Will they call it the Panther Clipper Mark II or the Panther Mark II? Who knows? Let me know in your comments. What are you thinking? Do you think this is definitely the Panther Clipper? Or do you think it's going to be something else? Another variant, perhaps a Type 9 variant that deals with a completely different game dynamic? I'd be interested to know. Thanks for watching. I've been Ricardo. I'll see you soon.